usually on
understand.
a professional podcast, usually they cut all of this beginning stuff out, and it just begins with the intro.
Really?
I believe so.
I've been listening to an amateur one lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been going more retro, and rather than listen to a podcast, I've been doing what we used to do in the old days and reading a book.
A book?
A book.
So you've learnt how to read in how much time?
I'm learning. That's why I'm reading it. Janet and John.
Janet and John.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us this time. I will be your host, as usual, Rob from RS, and I'm joined today by RS Paul.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Rob.
We have just got back from celebration. Feet haven't really touched the floor. We're straight back in the studio. We are that busy. I think we're running out of time for the soapbox thing, so that's a bit up in the air right now. But we're here today to just have a quick recap and talk about Celebration. Star Wars Celebration 2023, Europe, London. I think that's a full title.
Me? Yeah, my first celebration. I've been to plenty of Comic-Cons, but it was my first celebration. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was great because...
Just before we get deeper into it,
Yes.
how much different than a normal Comic-Con is it? If anyone's listening and they've never been to a celebration,
Okay.
and they've been put off by the price and the crowds and all the other negativity that you see online.
Okay, so your normal Comic-Con, you've got all sorts of cosplayers there. You've got your Star Wars cosplayers, then you've got cosplayers from games, cartoons, you name it, and there's vendors there that are selling all sorts of things from, let's say, cartoons to Star Wars, and different movies as well.
Cartoons? You mean anime?
Anime, yes, yeah.
And you mean at Comic-Con you have 50-year-old blokes dressed as Japanese schoolgirls?
Yes, that is quite strange, yeah. Yeah, but that's Comic-Cons. Whereas the Celebration, and that is solely Star Wars. And it's like the biggest event in the world on that said year to do with Star Wars. So it's a real big deal. There's panels on, so you can get in there. I know the prices are high, but you can get into most of the panels for nothing. Or is that all the panels, really?
No, you can get into them all.
Yeah,
But it's if you can get into them.
True, yeah, there's a lot of queuing for them. I managed to get into 2 panels. I didn't try to get into it. Oh, I tried to get into 3 panels, got into 2. But I didn't try for any more because, I mean, Ellis came with us and we did a little bit of
Spawn of Paul.
Spawn of Paul, yes.
Yep.
Good looking lad. Yeah, he came with us.
Weird.
No, he's not that weird, guys.
No, you're a bit weird thinking that your son's good looking.
Of course he is. He looks like me, minus the hench nose. But yeah, good looking lad. As well, you've said. I mean, Simon
Is hench the Latin for big?
Yeah.
Okay.
Simon said before, I'll quote him, I'd bath him. So I'd say he was a good looking lad, Ellis.
Okay, I don't think that's an actual quote. Just so we can get the record straight.
Well, one day on camera, I will ask Simon and he'll be honest with me. Back to Celebration. There's plenty to do. It's really... I'd advise anyone, if you ever get a chance, I know you're not going to be able to afford to go to the next one, but if you get the chance and it's in the UK, do it. So...
It's very presumptuous that
What?
people can't afford to go to the next one.
Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I thought Rob would cut me short and say, no, I want to tell him
Tell him what?
where the next celebration is.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
No, go for it.
So, well...
Announce it. We're kind of going to do this backwards anyway,
Okay.
to be fair, because in a minute you're going to talk about what you enjoyed about it most.
Okay.
And that's going to be the highlight of the show for me. So we'll do it backwards, and then we'll talk about the actual show.
Okay.
So go on, announce where the next one is.
Yeah, so the next celebration is in Japan. the Land of the Rising Sun. And it's going to be a day one, but I mean, if I could afford,
Land of the Rising Sun.
yeah. Now,
Probably racist now.
I was thinking that, to be honest with you. Is
Really?
it?
Probably. Somebody's probably offended by it. I'm super excited. Tokyo.
yeah.
Super excited.
I mean, it's 2 years away, is it now?
Yes, 2
Yeah.
years.
So it's
Almost
achievable.
to the day.
Yeah. It's achievable if you haven't got if your children have moved out or you haven't got children
Yeah.
or pets and you just
Or-
save money all the time.
Or if you have got children, you can just pimp them out for 2 years.
Oh,
And,
Jesus Christ.
That's more acceptable than what I'm going to have to cut out what he's just said.
Well, let's face facts. I can probably pimp my son out if anyone's interested.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting people actually do that.
Yeah.
Other than you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
in all honesty,
Just say, Simon, £10 a bath.
£10 a bath. Oh my gosh. So let me work this out. So is that a bath with Simon?
No, because you just said Simon wanted
yeah,
a bath.
yeah. And I'm just saying, would Simon be having a bath with Ellis? Or would he
I don't
just
know how
bath
it
him?
would work.
I don't know. You've done things like this before.
I certainly wouldn't want to see it, and I don't want to even imagine it. But
Bullshit.
I'm just looking at ways for you to.
You've got your hand in your pocket now,
Fund
seeing
your
how many
trip.
tenors you've got in there.
None. I don't carry cash. What
Once
cash?
I mentioned Ellis's name and a bath, you were all over it. Yeah.
Japan 2025. I'm actually excited about that
I am. I'm very excited.
because I think I would really love to visit Japan.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Huge Blade Runner fan. And it's the inspiration for Blade Runner, the whole look of
Yeah. Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah. Well, we obviously only see Japan on TV, don't we? And it just looks like an absolutely amazing place. I mean, Sammy Rise, just
Who is Sammy Rise?
Early in the morning. What?
yeah.
I think there's a lot of passive aggression going on here.
True that.
But I am excited for it.
Me too. I'm very excited.
I do want to visit Japan at some point. I have thought about it in the past.
Well, now's the time, Rob.
Well, it could be. It could be. I'll elaborate on this a little bit more. I think we should get into it a little bit further because let's talk about what celebration is for us.
Okay. What celebration
Because
for you?
this is the main event for me.
Yes, yeah.
Now I don't want to go off premature here, but I think we need to talk about this first because everything else will look back at what we're going to talk about here.
Okay.
And celebration is the friends that we spend time with.
Yes, definitely.
There's 4 days. You're supposed to be doing other activities, and to try and balance everything out, and still spend as much time as possible with the people that you're meeting, which is actually impossible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because there were a couple of guys that I kind of said hello to, and I was meaning to double back to them or see them again, and you just run out of time.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know, I'm gutted about a lot of the people that I met, and I was like, oh yeah, catch you in a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something we can go into eventually, but
No, go.
We was doing a raffle, and the amount of people. This is just one night, but we was doing a raffle, and the amount of people that I spoke to, and I was like, I'll be back in a bit. I'd love to talk to you more about that because obviously they'd ask me a question or whatever. And the amount of people that I just didn't get back
It's
to.
people's schedules, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, of course,
what
yeah,
they've
yeah.
got on, what they're doing the next day, if they're moving on to a different event,
Yeah.
or a different after party.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it was a struggle with just our group trying to cohesively get everybody doing what they needed to do.
Yeah, yeah. Like I reckon there was.
I mean, going with all of you guys
Yeah,
was like going with my family, like times 20.
yeah, definitely.
Everybody moaning and bickering and wanting to go somewhere else, and bored and tired, and I need to rest my feet, and we can't set off yet because we're waiting for someone because they're having a bath or a shower.
Hold up.
Yeah,
That was you.
No.
All of that was you.
Well, probably.
Yeah, there we go. Because as well, I'm quite easily pleased, and I'll just go with the crowd.
We can't eat there because somebody doesn't like that type of food.
God. Yeah, that is difficult.
So, and that was just our group.
Yeah.
So trying to keep up and meet everyone and get around and see everybody that I wanted to was quite difficult.
Yes, yeah.
I think there's one person that springs to mind that I was looking forward to meeting, and it didn't happen. Completely missed him. That's the one that's straight off the top of my head, but I think there were a few others as well.
Who was that?
Which don't come to mind right now. And so, see, that's the other thing. If we're going to start naming names,
Oh, yeah.
well, you're just going to miss somebody out, and then later on, if you listen to this back, or I'll just be driving home or something, and I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mention."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And not that the person that you mentioned was not the most important, but then other people that you would think you would mention totally go out your mind. So
You can't really mention whoever you wanted to mention because you'd have to mention everybody, pretty much.
well, I can. I think there was one person that I was really looking forward to seeing, and that was Tony Ducker. No jokes.
Oh.
So he was only there for one day,
Yeah.
and our planets didn't align,
Really?
and I didn't get to meet him.
Well, just so you know, I got to meet Tony Ducker.
That's all right for
in
you.
person. And I think it was whilst you were having your evening meal, getting ready to do the RS Hyperdrive Rogue 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
No, well, my timeline's a bit mashed actually. I'm gonna have to ask Clarky this. Was it the next morning Tony was there?
I'm going to sound really bad. I don't know who Tony is.
right,
If I met him, I met. Obviously, we all met a lot of people.
Big Star Wars fan, bald head.
Oh, that narrows it down a lot. Was he with the? Did we meet him outside of
Yes.
the Marriott?
The Marriott. It's all coming back to me. We all met up at the Marriott.
What? Oh, so we had to leave before we did the live stream?
No.
He was the next morning.
It was
after the live stream when Paul
when
and
he
I
went
went
picking up the stuff.
They were all leaving to go on an excursion or go sightseeing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was with Steve DeRose.
Yeah, and Paraminder.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. It was the next morning. I completely lost my timeline
Right.
then.
So I think he was only there for the Saturday.
Was he? Right, okay, yeah. Well, I met him there and it was quite nice, really, because he knew who little RS Paul was. So it's
So I'm just going to. There was nothing little about RS Paul was one of the biggest draws at Celebration 2023.
Shucks. I wasn't really.
Yeah.
RS Rob was.
I mean, you were very popular, Paul, at the event.
Oh,
And I am hoping that by pimping you out, I can actually fund my trip to Japan.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You get a big bucks with me. So
Big bucks.
Yeah, like I reckon. If you like, you can pimp me out to any mothers, and if it's going to fund Rob's trip to Japan, yeah.
But it was... so, I mean, this was your first celebration.
Mm-hmm, yes.
For me, this celebration was equal to or on par with my first celebration, which up until this point was my favourite celebration.
Okay.
Did you keep up with that?
Yes, it did. Yes. So
Okay. So this one was as good as my first one,
Yeah.
which was my favourite up until this one. So,
Right.
this one has now equalled that.
right, which one was that one?
Well, this was when they used to give them numbers, and it was Celebration 6,
6.
which was Orlando. Can't tell the year. 12 years ago, I think.
Wow.
So what? 20,
Was that like at the beginning of ours
20,
as well?
20. I think it's 12 years ago. 2011. Would that make it?
Have you got your
It
lanyard?
doesn't matter. I think it was 12 years ago.
Okay,
But it was
Orlando.
Celebration 6.
Yeah,
I don't think it's got a date on the badge or anything. It just says 6.
you and Simon went to that one alone, didn't you? I believe.
And it was my first celebration, and I was just walking around with like eyes on stalks, just like, oh my God, this is absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what it was like for you.
Yeah. I was really excited to get in.
And the thing is, I can't say, well, you should have been at that one, because this one was as good for me.
Yeah. I think for example, the American guys go into good old Blighty, or you go into Orlando. I reckon there's probably an added buzz just going out of country to one, but I had the added buzz of going out of Greater Manchester to one.
There you go. Yeah.
I'd driven down.
There you go.
It should have took me about 4 hours.
Got
6.5
smuggled over
hours
the
later.
border.
Yeah.
You're not usually allowed out, are you?
No. Do you know how I got past the police?
Lied to your carer?
Toll road.
Oh, right.
Didn't expect that because they know I'm tight. So,
yeah.
I hit the toll road. Yeah.
Good one.
Ellis was next to me. I said, "Oh, you got a cash card there, son?" And we jumped on the toll road.
Pass it over.
Yeah.
Pass it over.
So, yeah, that cut the. Oh no, we set off at the wrong time, so I hit all the traffic.
I did think you were setting off a bit late.
Yeah, but on the way I did visit a bit of a cool place to visit for someone like me, which was rugby.
All right.
Yeah. So,
What?
yeah.
So you went in the town, or
No, sadly, it was just the services.
Oh, the
The
services.
services said, "Welcome to rugby, scrum on in." So that was a highlight of the trip going down. You don't like rugby, do you? So
Thanks for tuning in to listen to the amazing review of Star Wars Celebration,
We're getting there.
And
We're getting
for-
there.
and for some
Gosh.
Star Wars chit chat.
Gosh.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's because no one likes you.
So,
Right. Yeah, so
so you got a little semi because you went in rugby services,
yeah.
and it said scrum on in.
Yes, and it had a rugby statue there. Then we arrived at Celebration.
What's a rugby statue? Like a ball.
Yeah.
You sit on it?
No, it's someone getting tackled.
Oh, really?
It's a person getting tackled by another person.
And there's a statue of that.
Yes. Anyway,
Was rugby invented there or something?
about 2 hours later.
Forget I asked that. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. So eventually, me and Ellis arrived at Celebrations. So you
Eventually,
guys,
Yeah.
and then you had the some of the Rogue 16 guys there with you. So that was my
did we? Oh, really?
first impression. Yeah. It was an absolute blast. Well, we'll touch on this again, but just meet.
No, go on.
Like for example,
Get into it.
you met Tony Ducker.
No, I didn't meet Tony.
Oh, sorry. I met Tony.
I met everybody else other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Tony.
Well, do you know what? He was really nice.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I didn't say anything.
I didn't want to meet him because I thought he was going to be a cunt.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, I met a couple of the Rogue 16 guys firstly, and
Yeah.
what a great bunch. I mean, if you watch their podcasts, they seem real great
via
guys
YouTube?
on YouTube. Yeah.
Rogue 16
Rogue 16
on
yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah, on YouTube.
Facebook group as well.
Yes, they do have a Facebook group.
I
as
don't
well,
think
so-
they have any podcasts though. But it's okay.
Oh,
I'm clarifying for anyone who's listening.
Sorry. Oh, right.
If someone's listening to this, then they're probably a podcast fan. They'll be like, "Oh, I'll check that out,"
Oh, right. Yeah.
and then they'll be like,
So is
"Figment of their imagination."
what they do a vlog?
No,
What the hell is it then? Anyway,
it's a stream.
nice bunch of guys. Everyone knows what I'm like with technology, so
Yeah,
yeah.
They do now.
I've seen the guys at Rogue 16 on a stream.
they do now.
Yes, yeah.
You've
Don't do
just
technology.
admitted what you like with technology. Your son had to sort you out on the toll road.
Yeah, I build armor pretty well, but technology not great at. Play rugby pretty well, used to, but technology,
Okay, scrum on in.
yeah, scrum.
You've
on it.
actually got that tattoo, haven't you, on the bottom of your back, like a tramp stamp.
Yeah. You've got it under your beard, just on your bottom lip. Yeah, so, yeah. Where were we?
You need to get that tattoo now. That'd be so good. That would be so funny. Get Piero to do it.
I was going to say when we go to Italy to get tattooed by Piero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could just get him really, really drunk and get him to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And say, "Oh yeah, he said in a podcast he definitely wanted to do it."
This is quite strange, this, of me. Piero, you and Simon have met him at umpteen celebrations, haven't you?
Everyone that I've been to
Yes.
since 2016.
Yeah.
No, 20
And other than
Celebration 6.
yeah,
On account of him always attending to perform his amazing tattoos.
yeah. Well, you guys have talked about him a lot, and just like, for example, before I met Mr. Shudlick, when someone talks about someone a lot, or talks about celebration a lot, you want to go to the celebration, or you want to meet that said person. And Piero, he's got a lot of history with RS, and I obviously got him on Facebook, but it was great to actually meet him. And then the strange thing was, I went over there, and he sort of, his eyes lit up as well. So as our eyes met, both sets of eyes lit up, and I think he actually fell in love with me from that moment on.
You worry me with these things.
I'm
I
sure
never know
he
where
did.
it's going to go.
Yeah, but yeah, met him.
So
Because
can we explain who Piero is?
Oh yeah, do you want to? Because you know him better than me.
Yes, Piero is a tattoo artist who attends and specialises. He's not exclusive to, but specialises in Star Wars tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Piero Twin.
Yeah.
Ta Twin, because he is also a twin as well.
Yeah.
And I've met his brother a number of times.
Oh, I've not. Well, first time I met him, his brother didn't make it this time, so.
No, he wasn't there this time.
Yeah.
But Piero did do the design.
Yes,
The design
yes.
for us.
That was whilst the epidemic was going on, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did.
COVID.
Yeah, we did come up with the design, and then he messaged me and was like, "Oh man." So we kindly redid the design,
Yeah. And he did a fantastic job on it.
made it sexy, and then he went through a whole raft of other helmets
Yep.
for us.
Well, after seeing that, I'd followed him on Facebook well before then, stalking him, and seeing his tattoos. They are good. But can I mention Ben?
not?
Yeah. So a guy that had a tie off us, a full tie. He wanted a tattoo off Piero, mainly because he kind of knew that he had something to do with us. So he contacted him and managed to
that's nice,
get him.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he has tattooed Simon in the past.
Yeah. Well, so Ben contacted him and said, "Is there any chance you can do me?" Because obviously the tattoo artist is so busy. They're all fully booked up, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So so I met up with Ben and went over there and had a quick chat with him. Really, threw a load of RS stickers at him and told him he's great. Because but watching him doing the tattoo on Ben though, Ben had the same tie pilot that he bought off RS, and it looks like a photograph. This guy is a genius. It looks like a photograph. So,
And I was watching Ben, he didn't even cry or nothing.
no, he's hard.
Proper.
I
He's
was
proper.
too. But yeah,
That's yeah. I mean, that was celebration. It was all about friends hanging out with Ben, Piero, not Tony, Parminder,
I saw Tony and Parminder.
Christian.
John.
Oh yeah, John.
Yeah.
All your R16 guys.
Yes, yeah.
I
I know the names. Do you want me to say them? I can remember the names.
know the names, but we've all got pet names for each other, so I won't do that on air.
Oh, Jesus.
But I mean, there's so many people. J-Tie Pilot,
Yep.
who I wanted
Oh.
to spend more time with and couldn't, and so many people that came up and introduced themselves,
Yes.
and they would say, "My name's whatever the name was." Obviously, otherwise that'd be a bit weird. And then say, "Oh, and I've got this, I've got this costume, I've got that costume," and it was overwhelming, really.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's difficult when you meet someone you've never met before, and they're just saying nice things about your work.
Yeah, and they just turn up, and they're like, "Nice to meet you," and you shake hands and you get a picture and that, and you have a brief conversation, and then they're gone back into the crowd.
Yes.
And you're like, well, if you're like me with early onset, you're like, I can't even remember who that was now.
Yeah.
They just did introduce themselves.
Well, yeah. Well, It's weird this because I don't, everyone knows what I'm like.
One of the guys who I met actually, and he explained who he was. He did that whole thing, and then I was like, no, I can't place him anywhere. And then he messaged me on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And said, can you send me that picture? And this is me on Facebook, by the way. So that one I've got locked in.
Connection.
Locked in.
Yeah. Do you know, like
I forgot who it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I haven't. That was a joke.
yes, you have. Who was it?
Marcus.
Yeah, you just picked that name out of the sky, then, didn't
I didn't.
But saying, "Oh, I met this guy, I met that guy," and someone asked for a photograph. You don't want to sound big-headed, but they were such great people, weren't they?
Of course.
It was just dead nice meeting. It was. I mean, for example, someone had just come out of the woodwork and go, "R.S. Paul."
Well, did they just like get spat out of the crowd flowing past?
I suppose it's difficult because in my youth, hanging about on street corners, I know where to hang. So I was just, for example, I was just chilling, eating a croissant, and
it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, but you've got to be careful as well.
Huh?
Well, it's a bit like when you're driving the company van or something. You know.
Oh yeah, of course.
You've got to behave yourself when you're driving.
Yes, exactly.
The last thing you need is, oh yes, I saw you last night. You're outside the pub puking up lay in the gutter. You don't want that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, because usually when you do that, nobody knows who you are, and you get away with it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking U2 concert.
That was you. Oh my gosh. No. We've all done. Here you go. We've all done that once in our lives. Then do you know what happens? We grow up and move on. We don't keep on
I'm
being
still waiting for that.
Yeah, you don't keep on being that same person. Like, for example, I've done that.
Well, you sound fake.
No. I sound grown up. That's why you never catch me making an absolute fool of myself when I've had a drink. I just make a fool of myself when I'm sober. There you go. I'm actually much calmer when I've had a drink, aren't I? or thereabouts.
You're just saying.
True
It's
that.
equally annoying.
Yes, you are.
Paul, stop moving
Was I bouncing there?
constantly in and out,
Yeah.
Might be nerves.
It's like you're trying to deep throat that microphone.
and stop touching your
No,
cup.
I've got a sore jaw. If I try and open
I
it, as
wonder
bad as
why.
that.
A weekend of opening your mouth as wide as it can go.
Yeah.
We've got Clarky, cue the picture of the bukkake party.
Well,
I don't know if he's actually going to put it up, but if anyone is listening to the podcast and not viewing this on YouTube, it is Paul, for some reason, decided to jump in the photograph by just laying on the floor in front of a big arc of people.
Well, you say a big arc of people. It was a good 10 men and one lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt liquids hitting the back of me.
Probably people spilling the beer.
Well, we know what you're like. Really that potty trained area. So it's probably most of it was off you.
It could have been.
Cue picture. Yeah.
So, celebration. When I said it was on a par with my first one, your first one,
Yes.
and these two celebrations were on a par, they were for the reason of meeting all the people,
Oh yeah, definitely.
which was amazing. And it's been, I've not actually worked it out since Celebration 6. I think it was 12 years. And the first one I attended, there was a whole heap of people I'd never met, only spoke to them for a considerable amount of time on the internet, and then everyone was there and I met them all for the first time. This celebration was very similar in that it's a whole bunch of other new people that I've been speaking to for years, and by and large, mostly I'd never met. And that was the fun part of it, meeting all of these people.
But apart from Piero, did you meet many people from that first one?
Yeah, I met Ben Townsend. Brilliant to catch up with him.
Definitely.
And Piero, and that's probably it from that first one.
Yeah.
But you do get different people attending the American cons and the
course,
UK cons, or the European cons.
Yeah.
which makes me wonder if Japan will actually be that much fun, because if there's not many of the American crowd going and there's not many of the European crowd going, then I'm wondering whether I'm going to have that many friends that I'll be able to hook up with.
Yeah, it's a strange one, really, isn't it? Because the Americans, obviously, they'll be going like over the Pacific, won't they? Really?
Excuse me, I'm
We've all
feeling a bit rough after the con.
Yeah, it's the post-con.
Well, I think it's just the post super spreader event con.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not uncommon to come back with a cold, is it? But I think most of us have.
Most of us actually went with a cold, didn't we?
Bit of lurgy.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was you spreading it around?
Yeah. No, I was right at the end of it, but I wasn't going to postpone going to the Comic-Con. With being at the end of a cold, even though I was supposed to go a day earlier. Excuse me. I was supposed to go in a day earlier with you guys, but couldn't make it. But you were there a day early, weren't you?
Yeah. Was it a day? It might have been 2. That was the day.
Day earlier.
Day before.
So that's quite good. Hopefully Clark will put a picture up, but you met up with, was it 12 people? Or so.
I don't
Had a
know.
walk around London. I saw a photograph
I'm
on
just going to be
Facebook.
vague till I know where you're going.
No. I'm just saying you got there the day before Comic-Con and you just met up with at least 12 people and you had a picture in.
Celebration.
What did I say?
Comic-Con.
Celebration. Yeah, you met up with at least 12 people before Celebration. And I saw a picture on Facebook and it looked like the party had already started.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a bit jealous.
The minute you hit town,
Yeah.
it's full on party mode.
Yeah.
So the actual event itself.
Yep.
I've got to say, although attending this weekend is equal to my first celebration, the actual event, the organisation, what was there, how that all unfolded, the panels and everything, was easily the worst one I've ever been to.
Right.
By far.
Right.
It was awful.
Well, to be honest, for me, it was pretty similar to the way normal Comic-Cons in the UK are organised, really. Is that rude of me, that? Am I going to get told off by Comic-Con organisers?
No, I don't even think... Well, I don't know, because I've not been to one at the XL for some time.
Yeah.
But if that's the way they organise them, usually, where they have a nice entrance to the building
And don't use
at
it.
either end,
Yeah.
and yet they make you walk in the back door
Yeah.
through like a delivery.
Yeah, that was
A delivery
strange.
door.
Yeah.
Embarrassing, I would say.
Mm.
And then you get in there, and so I was reading some people's reviews of it online,
Yeah.
and they were saying you got in and there was absolutely no wow factor, and I think they were right. There was nothing. Well, there was nothing.
So I didn't know what to expect. So Orlando or the last celebration you went to, what was the wow factor when you got in there?
Well,
Obviously, you went through the front door.
you went in through the front door. There was all signs and banners, and you felt like this area, this convention center, was dedicated to Star Wars for the next 4 days.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas this one there was nothing like that. You just went in.
Yeah, it was
There
all.
was so many of the halls were just reserved for queuing.
Yeah.
But were mostly empty.
I get your
Everybody was funneled into the into kind of one half of the convention center.
Yeah.
And when you went in there, you couldn't see. Usually, you go in the main hall and you can see the stage, or you can see the big props or something. But maybe it was just the entrance that we used. But we went in and we were just the first hall that we got to that wasn't for queuing. We went in there thinking, yes, here we go. It's going to take my breath away. and you could kind of see some props in the distance and a load of vans serving food.
Yes, you're right.
And then I was like,
yes.
I just did this.
Oh, no. Well, the excitement of going to my first celebration totally bypassed all that until you pointed it out to me.
Well, I'd been saving up a little bit of money,
Yes.
and so had Harry, because my boys went with me. And we were all excited. He was going to go and buy some figures and things, and you couldn't buy anything. Hasbro had nothing.
Yeah, it's strange because...
I think you could buy Funko Pops, and that has got to be the weirdest thing. Cue the photo here, Clarky, if you want to put this up. A couple of grown... I took this picture because there was a couple of grown-ass men walking around with Funko carrier bags.
Right, okay. Are you going to blur the faces out?
No, we're going to shame them.
Yeah,
We're gonna full-on shame them.
that is odd. Behind the Funko stall, there was figures, but finding it... So you obviously...
Oh, no, we
didn't
found
oh,
a couple,
right,
but I
okay.
don't know if they're... I don't even know if they were second-hand.
Oh, right,
Or
okay.
like, I don't know where they acquire them from, whether they buy them from Hasbro or
Yeah, of course,
if they're
yeah.
proper dealers or they just buy them up and then mark them up and then sell them.
Yeah, good
But
point.
that wasn't really the point. There was no official.
Yes, yeah.
You know, there was.
yeah.
I think it was just poor.
Yeah, and would you say...
Usually those vendors selling the figures, usually there's like 20, 30 different
Yes, yeah.
different ones dotted all around the place, and you can visit them all and get check them out and find the ones that you want or find the ones you didn't know you want, and you just buy them on impulse. But there was so little of that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. As I say, the Funko, and it was like one
The
figure
tattoos,
store.
usually the tattoos are in a nice area, all separate,
Yeah,
so that you don't just walk past it. You kind of, I'm going to the tattoo area, so
Okay.
you go and you find it, and it's separate.
right,
So
like,
this was-
like walled off kind of.
Yeah, just its own area, and then the same would be the case for where all the artists are. And it would be more defined. I think
Right,
I'm trying to say.
Do you feel like they had more space to use, but they just crammed things into?
I've no idea what
Yeah,
they were planning. It was just bad.
Yeah, I
You'd
see your
walk around,
point.
you couldn't because there was that many people. It was difficult to see where things were
Yes,
anyway.
yeah,
So there were
yeah.
probably more vendors that were there, but they were that swamped with people you couldn't even get to them. And
Yeah.
that's not just the time I was there. That was every time I was there.
I fully get that. Yeah, definitely. That was.
And it wasn't very well laid out so that you could find these places. Because the first day I didn't find anything
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
apart from the food trucks and that live stage and some props, but they were all behind these really ugly barriers and things. I don't know. It was just the whole thing. I think for me personally, the whole thing was, if this is the best the UK can do, it's embarrassing because this is an event on an international scale.
Yeah. Now you've put it into perspective for me. Obviously, because I was like a child, excited and all that, and I just went in, and it didn't really bother me. But now you've put it into perspective.
2016, way better.
Yeah. I can
In
believe
London.
it. Yeah.
That event was way better. Essen was way better.
So, it's probably down to that one person in charge.
Well, I did hear a rumour that the organisers, Repop,
Yeah.
this is their last event
Really?
and that they won't be continuing future celebrations.
Really?
So whether that means they just thought, spend nothing,
Yeah.
just make as much profit as we can
Yeah.
because we're not doing it again, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually true that they're not doing another one, but that's what I heard.
If they're handing over the baton to someone
And when
else.
someone told me that, they didn't say they've done a shit job because it's the last one.
Yeah.
They just said they're not doing it next time.
Okay. Well, let's hope they hand the baton on to someone that gives a damn.
Well, I don't think. I think they've had the baton took off them, and
Yeah.
that's going to be.
Yeah.
I think Disney are going to be organising themselves moving forward.
Okay.
Might make sense.
Let's hope Kath organise it then.
Might make sense. Bleep that. That is actually a hate crime.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not very good at
So that would make sense.
Excuse me.
That would make sense why the event is in an area close to a Disney park. Or parks.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I would love to I would love to Japan. Sorry, I would love to go to Japan. Tokyo.
I would.
It looks amazing. It just looks
I would like to
fantastic.
go, and I would like to go at celebration time.
Yes.
To meet the people coming in. Whether I'd actually bother going to the event in future.
Right,
I mean, because for me the fun was the after parties.
Yeah. Well, this one just gone. We had a heck of a lot of fun at the after parties, and it was great. People just popping up out of the woodwork then that we'd never met before. Especially me. I mean, you've met a lot of people to do with Star Wars. It was my first time to.
Oh yeah, there's a.
Keeping you up. Oh bless.
I'm still exhausted from the weekend, especially with this, this cold. I've not been sleeping very well. Yeah. But you don't need to.
You don't go on about it now.
You don't need to feel sympathy for me.
Yeah. Well. We'll get to that.
Get to what? No, go.
I don't like to mess things up because you probably got a queue.
No, I've not.
To say. Okay. Well, the run. I was just thinking with your cold, and then you actually did the full run.
The run.
Considering you've not done any sort of running since the cush injury.
Apparently, I wasn't expecting her to be running.
They did run.
So this is the probably best. I mean, for me, it's a flash mob.
Yes, yeah.
So
it's like the Wilbur Hood.
Yeah, it was the one way out Andor prison break.
Yeah.
Where we stormed. I'm doing inverted commas with my fingers for those listening. Stormed the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Which was very well orchestrated so that we could just storm it. So they basically let us in and they knew we were coming and everything was arranged.
Yeah.
But we visited the panel. Saw Diego on stage.
Yes, yeah.
Amongst others.
Yeah, who were the
Kathleen
others?
Kennedy was on that panel, but she wasn't there.
Oh, right.
May have thought better of it with a group of adult fans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for the lady.
Yeah, I believe you saw her up on
But
stage.
she wasn't there.
Did you?
No.
Oh, was it the other guys? German guys?
That's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Probably. Yeah, because I think they were at there.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
Anyway.
So yeah, we did the prison break flash mob. I think there was plenty of footage taken of that.
Yeah, so if you've got any footage,
But I mean,
please send in.
I've done the Wilro Hood run before,
Right, okay.
and there wasn't a great deal of running. It's got to be honest.
Okay.
There were that many people, and usually you go from point to point, and there's not actually that much running. It's just more of a brisk walk, really. But this, oh my god,
We ran the length of the venue, didn't we?
it was the full. Yeah, so I think the convention hall is about a mile long. I think we're getting on for, and yeah, we ran the whole thing, and I've not been able to jog or anything since my accident. You've probably forgotten about it because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
I did have a
Not
massive
mentioned it
crush
much.
injury.
Yeah.
10 months ago
Yeah.
to the day.
Yeah. And by massive crush injury, you didn't fall on yourself. A car hit you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and nearly snapped your foot
yeah,
off.
that's right. So yeah, I did. Yeah, that.
Oh yeah,
that did cause me some problems later on in the weekend.
so if people listen to
I wasn't going to stop doing it though.
True. Yeah, you soldiered on, didn't you? You did the whole thing. Now, people that can't see the video of this, if you're in your car, we were wearing the actual pajamas, weren't we? For it,
Yeah.
the actual prison suits,
Yeah,
and
I
very
prefer
comfortable.
pajamas.
Yeah, the pajamas, aren't they? In fact, I wouldn't mind a pair of pajamas like that. But yeah, I mean, can I plug who gave them to us?
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah. So Vincent from Imperial Boots, he
Keep treeping. He has rebranded.
Oh, I'm really sorry. He has rebranded. He's now Keep Trooping, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he bought some of the prison suits for me, Rob, and who else got involved? Was it Dan Shudlick, Jason?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it, wasn't it?
Ellis.
Oh. Ellis, yeah. In fact, Ellis just ran off and burnt us lot off, didn't he? Yeah, he probably finished first, didn't he, knowing Ellis? But yeah, we all did it, and yeah, thank you very much, Vincent. Much appreciated.
Yeah, that was a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So yeah,
Now we need to get cleared.
that was huge fun. That was huge fun. That was yeah.
I mean,
Was that the Saturday? Must have been.
Yeah.
Was it the Friday? I've got a feeling it was the Friday.
It was the Friday, wasn't it?
Was it the Friday?
I've lost track of time. Everything's just backwards and
wavy
forwards.
hand.
Yeah, a bit backwards and forwards. Yeah, nothing to see here.
So yeah, that was actually really enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed that. That was great. And at the end, Dennis did it as well, didn't he? Because he actually lost his voice because we were saying one way out, punching the sky every so often.
Did he?
Yeah, Dennis lost his voice. He was
Yeah, I don't
very
remember.
hoarse after it, yeah. But no, he didn't completely lose his voice, but he was very hoarse after it.
I'm not sure he was in a flash mob.
I thought he was.
I don't know. Well, I would have thought he'd been.
If he wasn't, he'd lost his voice. I can't remember.
Probably.
If Dennis is watching, please send us a picture of you wearing Dan's
Probably all the times he was
pajamas.
saying. I mean, it's like that episode of Mandalorian. He was just like that to you all weekend. No.
There we are.
That's why.
Oh,
We're looking at a picture with everyone. Everyone on program.
yeah, on program. Yeah, the guy in a wheelchair. He was pretty. It actually built.
Is that me on the end of that picture there?
You're right in the middle.
Okay,
I'm right
yeah.
in the middle.
You're right in the middle. I'm next to you. If you notice, I've moved my elbow in so you can see Dan's face for the photograph.
Oh yeah.
Because I looked to the left and realised I was completely blocking Dan's face, so I pulled forwards, and there's Ellis next to Dan as well.
Oh yeah, there we are, dead centre.
Yeah.
Did you take this picture, this image, this photograph, Clarky?
Yes,
Thank you.
which is why no one's looking at me because I wasn't the person officially taking the photo.
Okay.
Then there's the guy in the wheelchair at the front. He's got the Death Star piece that they were building pretty much. So he's done a cracking job on building that.
That's in the image. So there was a guy in a wheelchair with that huge thing. What's the span? Must be about 5 foot or something.
Yes,
like that.
yeah. It wouldn't
Maybe-
go through
maybe
a door,
more.
would it?
No, and that was funny because they got him all queued up to go in the lift, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then somebody else came down came up the lift in a wheelchair. Had to back out, so he had to move it all out the way. And then he just sprang out the wheelchair and just walked in the lift with carrying the huge prop.
So it must be heavy.
Did he carry it in? I thought
Yeah.
I thought he got out and then walked in himself, and someone else went in with that.
No, I'm pretty sure he carried it in.
But as you have mentioned in a previous conversation, you would be quick to judge on that
I would have been,
a year ago. But
I would have
now, understanding,
but now no.
when you looked able-bodied, rolling around in your wheelchair,
Look, taking 2 steps is just 2 steps.
Yeah.
Walking around all day.
I mean, the prison suits that we wore, whatever the prison pajamas we wore, they were
Yeah, prison pajamas.
very, very screen accurate, weren't they? Well, for me, they were. They look really good. I'm
Well, they certainly look.
Well,
really impressed.
I'd say from my point of view of looking at the event from the outside, because I obviously wasn't wearing the pajamas, up until that point, I'd seen a load of people wearing them. You think, oh, they look pretty good. And then when you started seeing everyone wearing Vincent's
Yeah.
Keep Trooping,
Yeah.
instantly night and day to the quality difference in them. No disrespect to anyone else's, but Vincent's were miles better.
Yes, they were. Yeah. Also, there's a picture of me and Ellis just popped up, and it looks like I'm some sort of cult leader, doesn't it?
Yeah, you do. You do look a bit.
So yes.
Look like this sort of cult leader who's probably got a lot of young boys in his cult.
Oh yeah. Well, there's one of them next to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you jealous? Well, yeah, it's been, there's another one.
There we go. Now we're looking at a picture of me and my lad.
Yeah, so Harry donned the pajamas, didn't he? And,
Yeah.
He,
I mean, look. I mean, Harry's like 12.
yeah.
Just turned 13.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
Excuse me. Harry's 12, just turned 13, and how old's Ellis?
How old's Ellis?
Yeah,
You asking me now on camera?
well, roughly.
At least 25.
At least 25.
At the most 26.
And that's because you're a lot older than me.
Me?
Yeah.
No, you started late, didn't you?
You've got grown up kids and everything. You're old enough to
Right,
be
there's a
easily old
there's a
enough to be
nickname
grown up.
for Rob. It's
Okay, let's move on to the next segment of the show.
It is Old Man McCormick, or if you want to do the weight, we call him 101, as in kilograms.
Okay, let's move on to the next part of the show.
Don't be nasty.
So we enjoyed the run, but yeah, the actual event didn't blow me away.
Well, it made it better for the fact that you met all them lovely people, though.
Oh, I had a
Yeah,
brilliant weekend.
yeah.
But there were points in the weekend where I was thinking, if I was to come again, then I may get a 1-day ticket
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
or no ticket at all, and just literally just go for the after parties
Yeah, like
and
just,
the meeting people.
Yes, in a
because
hotel.
that was
yeah,
that was a fun part of it for me.
yeah. The next company,
All the
right?
Hyperdrive guys, all the Rogue 16 guys, and everybody in between that we met.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the point of going. That was my celebration.
Yes, definitely for me too. I enjoyed going in there and the meeting everybody. In fact, I enjoyed that more than looking around. To be honest, I'm just that sort of person, aren't I?
Yeah.
I get on with people, don't I?
Yeah.
I
So
get on them.
just to geg in, the highlight for me was the Saturday morning when we went to the Marriott to pick up all of my gear from the podcast.
Oh yes, yeah.
Paul came with me, being the absolute star he is, helped me load up, and we got in the lift on the 7th floor, pressed ground, and then the doors opened. We weren't paying attention. We started to move out, and I said, "Oh, this clearly isn't the ground floor." So there was a couple there, lady on the phone and a bloke, and dragged all the gear back into the lift. It was on a big trolley, and this guy, this guy goes, "Is the room for us?" And we were like, "Yeah." So his wife shuffles in, stands very close to Paul. She's on the phone. And he then stands in and the lift starts to move and he turns around to his wife and says, "You need to watch him. He's got a bit of a reputation." And I burst out laughing. She says, "I'll call you back," puts the phone down and says, "Is this the RS boys?" And he knew who Paul was and she knew. And I feel really bad now because I actually forgotten their names and they came and spent literally the whole evening with us on the Saturday night.
Yeah, they came
But I
over.
love the fact that they recognised Paul because of what a superstar he is. And I'm going to claim credit for that because didn't someone else say, "You're the guy that Clarky made famous"?
Yeah. I'm the guy that made Clarky famous. yeah. It's surreal, really, wasn't it? And it wasn't just, you don't like to be big-headed, but it was just nice meeting people that have seen us on the vlogs or what have you, building their armour, and then they've took, they've been so happy they've come to say thank you to us. I was,
That was good.
yeah, proper chuffed, really.
We handed out some coins to some people.
Oh yes,
So we did create a challenge coin
yep. We got a picture of it.
with we
Well,
probably have.
You should have your coins on you, gents.
Oh shit, she's around. Hands in my pocket. Oh, I'm in your jeans.
Mine's kept safe.
Have you actually got one?
There you go. He's gonna pass it over.
No, I'm not. I'm showing it to the camera.
All right.
Oh, right, okay.
I see.
Is that the green one or the white one? I can't see through the camera.
I just carried a white one round with me.
Yeah. So there was a limited edition of a green one, a green Stormtrooper helmet, should I say?
They're both limited edition.
Oh yeah. What, for example, is how many hundred of the white one? Then only a certain few of the big collector one, the green one. So the polypropylene one.
So these are these coins were. Well, the idea behind them was obviously we if you got a celebration, you need to take swag,
Yes.
And previous years, people have been coming up to us, giving us stickers and coins and stuff, and we've not been organised. So we actually got organised for once, and we got the coins made. And I think these coins are, if we ever meet someone in person, then we can give them a coin. I don't think we're going to be posting these out.
Mm-hmm.
These are strictly for, if you've got the coin, then you've met one of us in person.
Yeah.
And they actually had some coins on there to be able to give out.
Yeah.
So all of those things have to align for you to get the coin.
Yeah, because we did have, I was carrying them and Rob wasn't. And then we'd meet someone and Rob go, give them a coin.
Yeah.
So my stash dwindled down, but then it did get to a point where people were saying, my friend's got one of those coins, have you got one? I was like, we happen to know it happened to you as well, Paul.
Yes, it did, yes.
Certain points in the evening, you would run out because you could only carry several of them round because the weight and the way they rattled.
Yeah. Well, if you imagine in the little plastic cases as well, having 10 of them in your pocket all night.
So yeah, that was the swag.
Mm-hmm.
I got plenty of swag. I know you did.
Oh, I did, yeah. I put a little picture up. I was very grateful, by the way. Thank you very much.
And this is not official swag. This is people attending the event. So
Oh, of course, yeah.
again, that's an interesting fact.
Yeah. Well, it was great because I met a few scouts. So, you know how I like giving me Iris Paul scout sticker to the scouts. But then I just gave them to everyone anyway. Everyone that gave me a sticker got one. So, but yeah. Oh, this is a strange one. I met an RS scout. I went to the toilet. There's a guy. He was having to de-kit so he could go to the loo. I can't remember his name. And you're not allowed to take pictures in the toilets.
Oh really?
So yeah. So I
How did you find that out? The hard way.
yeah. Well, I don't like having my arms forced up my back, but that's how I left the toilet.
Yeah. You'd say anything on a podcast. He does like his arms being pushed up behind his back.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah,
I'd also suggest if I was going to a convention and I wanted to meet RS Paul, I'd probably hang around the toilets as well, knowing that.
Yeah, good point.
Knowing that his weak bladder was probably going to see him there pretty soon.
Hang on, my weak bladder. I'll leave it there.
Shall we? If we're going to talk about me and mine,
Yes.
shall we talk about the panel that I was on?
Oh, the panel. Yeah. I was the first panel I ever watched at a celebration.
Yeah.
Was it was a Boba Fett panel.
Yeah.
And it was about the fan parts.
Yeah.
With Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, the guy in the middle. We had a picture of him. It looked like he was roaring. What was he called?
Patrick.
Is it Patrick? Yes. Sorry, Patrick. And then to put the icing on the cake, Mr.
Alex. No, Alex as well.
Who's Alex?
Alex was the guy in the costume. Between them.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. I did actually forget about Alex. I'm very sorry about that. And then the icing on the cake was Mr. Rob McCormick, or as he used to be known, Bobby Fett UK, was it?
Well, that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah. So, in fact, we'll get to that eventually, but you showed me a picture of you back in the day at weekend in your Fett, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That was another highlight. I was
Yeah,
impressed
was it?
with that. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, back to...
That's one of them photos, you know, where you've got like a costume photo in between all your nude photos.
Oh, yeah.
I was showing him the nudes.
I actually stopped you on that one. I said, go back, because you were just flicking up, wasn't you?
Yeah, looking past
And
it.
I just said, can you go back?
And
about
I was like,
15
oh, you
pictures?
weren't supposed to see that one. Yeah, it was a Boba Fett costume from years ago.
Yeah, well, because I work with you, and you do love Boba Fett, and you research, and you're researching all the time. I do see a lot of you know, the fan parts and what have you. But it was interesting sitting there. It was just great.
It was great to be invited onto it.
Of course, yeah. I'd have been.
It was an honour, and I wasn't really going to say no.
Yeah.
Because it was an experience. I think had we been a little more organised, we maybe could have done it slightly differently.
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, it was great to be on it. It was great to be asked, and really good experience.
Yeah, and afterwards, I had the chance to meet. I mean, you've spoke to him loads of times, Boba Fett, and what a nice guy he is.
I've just found the guys online Instagram handles in case anyone knows who doesn't know what we're talking about. So you got Buddha Fett, Sparrow Fett, Lunchbox Wars, and obviously Robert McCormick.
Oh, right, okay.
There you go.
I will have to wait for the vlog to come out to see that, I'm sure. I'll be following them all straight away. But yeah, Buddha Fett, he came to the pub later on with us. He's, I like him. He's a fun guy.
Was there anything else that we needed to talk about on this one?
Let's talk about the sneak peek helmet that we.
Yes.
Gosh, yeah.
It's a good idea. So yeah, we
The reveal helmet.
we did take a work in progress helmet to show all the folks who came over on the Saturday night to meet us what the future had in store. Not finished, not complete, and a prototype, and some changes will be taking place. But you don't know this till you built one.
True, yeah.
I
Come on, it's a prototype.
The helmet we're talking about is the Princess Leia Disguise Bausch helmet. And yeah, I mean, it got a good reception. We weren't expecting anything else really. It's come out fantastic.
Yeah.
As I say, as we've been doing this, we've highlighted, I don't know, half a dozen, probably about a dozen different bits and pieces, different techniques that we would employ. But most people loved the helmet as it was anyway. I mean, and it looks superb.
Yeah.
But these are just little techniques that we've seen and learnt while we were building this prototype. So been a great experience. And watch this space for more information, because this Bausch helmet is happening, and it's coming on at a great speed now, and I'm very excited for it.
I thought it was nice as well that obviously, because Becca wasn't originally on the roster to come to Celebration, it was great to see her explaining it to people, because you know it was her. It was a good solid week. After all the R&D you'd been doing, it was a good solid week of her being at that.
Yeah.
For many hours to get it to that stage.
Yeah.
Getting all the paint techniques worked out, and that's what I mean. We were discussing things as she was painting it, and that's led to a better understanding of the paint process, and
I mean,
the way that needs to go to really nail that thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it looks great, but the next one is going to look off the chart.
Definitely.
So super excited about that.
Sorry to interrupt. Just to let's cover all the bases of what we need people to do to keep up to date with this, because I had several people saying to me on the Saturday night, "Let me know when I can buy it. Message me," and there's obviously there's not going to be any favoritism. This is going to be for the first people, because this is a very exclusive, limited run.
Yeah, this is full on. RS helmet.
Well, with the other helmets, there's never been favoritism. It's just.
No, but they've been group exclusives and stuff.
I understand.
That's what I mean, because people were thinking it was going to be
a full-on RS helmet. There will be plenty of notice. We may actually start all of that showing the prototype helmet so that people can see what's what, just so that we've got enough time to get the information out there and get people aware of what's going on. And then we'll have to do an email newsletter about it, and obviously we'll be putting more in all of our media outlets.
So how do they get that information? This is what I'm driving at.
Okay. Stay tuned to the YouTube. Listen to the podcast if that is your tang, and make sure that the email newsletter that you signed up to is not going to your spam.
Yeah, and also make sure you do sign up to the newsletter. It's so easy to forget.
Thank you, Paul. That's what I was going for.
There we go. That's what he was trying to aim us at. I'm sure most people are signed up to that now, but if you're not, then do consider it. I think what we might actually do, is send out a little, shall I call it a test? You see, the thing is, when I bought some stuff from, let's use mixed tiles as a good example.
Yeah.
Because Clarky said, oh, you know, them mixed tile things that you got, how did you, and it's like a little photo thing that comes all pre-done in.
Oh, okay.
You put it on your wall when you get it. They're quite nice. But I bought some, and I probably get like a marketing mail shot every day. And he said, what a mix I was like, and I went, oh yeah, really good. I didn't have any problem with them. The quality of them and everything looks pretty good. But they will spam the hell out of you on your email. And then about a week later, he went, yeah, I see what you mean about them. But we don't do that. We don't want to do that. We just want to send something out when it's relevant. But we may send something out and then say to people, we've sent one out, and if you've not received it, then you can check your spam and you can make sure that we're all set up correctly.
Yeah. Good point, well made.
Then you won't miss it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we need to send one for people to be able to do that.
Definitely,
because otherwise it's so long since we sent one of those mail shots out that they would never be able to find it.
Can I mention that what a labour of love it's been though? Because you
can do.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm doing other things really. Rob might ask me to cast my eye over something, to do with a Bausch, if do you reckon this is that, and so on and so forth. But this guy has been scouring the internet for the smallest little parts for it and everything, and he's talking to the right people as well. But
that's the fun bit for me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We're at RS, we're nerds. We like getting right into these things and finding the exact part. Nothing else will do. And then Becca with her painting. I mean, some of the stuff she's painted, other than Star Wars stuff, is amazing. And then coming here and doing the Y-wing, doing things to do with Fett and Stormtroopers, you name it. And then getting onto the Bausch, she's I don't know, she's like she could paint the Mona Lisa back in the olden days.
This one's special.
Yeah.
This one's we need to come up with some sort of title for this, but it's definitely going to be a legacy helmet for us.
Yeah. I mean, you've been striving to find the exact leather as well, for example. Just little things like that.
Oh yeah, well it's just got to be right. There's more work to do on the leather. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, we know the stuff that we've got wasn't what we want.
Of course.
I don't want to get into the details of where we might be getting some of that information from at the moment, but I think it's worth going that extra little step.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm absolutely super excited about this, and I'm super excited about the way that the team is going to work on this, as opposed to the way that we've done things in the past, like the Y-wing helmet, where it took a long time because we were feeding it in between things. This one's completely different mindset, and we're going to get the whole team involved. Yeah, and we're going to put some. Yeah, we're going to. It's going to be done properly, really.
Yeah.
I think we've learned from the Y-wing that if we're going to do this, then we need to put the focus of the whole team behind it.
Yeah.
To get it done in a timely manner, so we can start to finish the project and not have things hanging around.
True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so top three things from Celebration, London 2023, Europe at the Excel Centre, Star Wars Celebration.
Okay, my top three things.
Top three things.
Followed by your top three things.
I might agree with yours.
Okay, fair enough. Well, one of them sounds daft, but I'm going to say meeting the people. I was going to say Pierre or Dan Shudlick, because it's always great meeting Dan Shudlick and Dennis and what have you. Meeting the people, the Rogue One 6 guys, number one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Friends,
yes.
Friends. For me, number one is Friends.
Yeah. Number 2.
Distant friends,
Yeah.
some that we've not seen for a while, some that we've been speaking to every week but not seen in person,
Yeah.
and some that we saw just recently.
Number 2. I only got to 2 panels, but I really did enjoy going to both of them. Now in hindsight, I wish I went to more. I tried to get to 3.
You came out of that Visions panel and you said, "Why weren't you on it?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't do every panel.
Yeah, well, I thought you'd be there. I don't understand. He was in the other one. Yeah, and number 3, right at the end of it, when I got away from you, that was fantastic.
I like it.
I am kidding. Number 3, gosh, I suppose going over and seeing Piero doing the tattoo on Ben, because I saw the beginning section, you know, where he sized it up for his arm, and he put that sort of kind of blueprint on. Because I've got one tattoo from when I was like 16 on the bottom of my back, you know the one.
Yeah.
Um,
Scrum inside.
Scrum inside, yeah. And now,
They did that when he was in Borstal.
yes.
It's all like Indian ink, innit, and a compass.
Yeah. When we was in Borstal, that's how we met, wasn't it?
When he was in Borstal.
Yeah. So yeah, watching the process of that, then going away, then I'd come back half an hour later, a bit more done. 2 hours later, I'd come back and just watching that fill up. But I'm gonna do 4. The other one was being with the RS boys.
Oh.
Even Clarky, an outsider.
Even Clarky.
No. Just being there with the RS boys, I brought my son with us, and yeah, it was great. You brought both of your sons with you. And that was their first. Well, no, it was Harry's first one, wasn't it?
No,
Both of them, yeah.
yeah, never been to a celebration before.
So, just one thing for Harry, if anyone's watching the next celebration, can we have some kind of Star Wars pool table? That'd be ideal, wouldn't it?
So he's asked if he'll be big enough to costume in Japan.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but
I think he will be.
You'll be
it's only
big in
2 years
Japan.
away.
He'd be big in Japan. Well, he did wear a couple of helmets whilst he was there, and he was like, I want a full armour.
So I think for me, the highlights are, I'm going to be a little bit more concise.
Concise.
The highlights for
Don't
me
know what
are
that means.
Friends,
Yes.
the Prison Break, I fully enjoyed,
God, yeah, I really love that.
and revealing the Bausch helmet.
Yeah,
I think they were the 3 things for me.
yeah.
But I'm going to say 5 because you said 4. So
We got 2 more now.
yeah, Ellis coming along was a highlight.
Yes. Well,
And,
you've known Ellis since he was 15, haven't you? And he's what, 20-something now?
You're making it sound weird.
You have?
I've not got a 5th one.
Yes, you have.
I haven't. You've spoiled it now.
Oh, go on, tell me.
Walking past the bins to get in the place. I can't believe that.
I know that
honestly,
was
I can't
terrible.
believe it.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. Ridiculous.
I mean, because I was so excited going in there, I didn't even notice the bins. But then when you pointed it out to me afterwards, I was like, yeah, that was a bit rubbish. Excuse the
But
pun.
it was great. It was a great weekend. It's always nice to visit London.
Yep.
I enjoyed the tubes. I saw a little bit of London. My one regret was I didn't get a pint of Camden Hells in Camden.
Oh, no.
Which I did get a pint of Camden Hells, it just wasn't in Camden.
Yeah.
And I usually try and do that. So that's my one regret for the weekend.
That's like your Mecca when you go to London, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't like it out of Camden.
Well,
Just
I'm
tastes
assuming
better there.
I'm assuming it's brewed there, so it doesn't travel very well, does it?
So
Not even to the
just
XL?
prefer it there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up. I don't know how long we've been talking now, but it seems like forever.
Yeah, knowing you,
Look at
it's
Clark, he's
been a long time.
Just go and give him a wake up.
He's aged a bit more.
But yeah, what a weekend. Star Wars celebration. Here's looking forward to the next one, whenever that may be, whichever one you go to. And thanks for listening. Come back next time when we'll be talking for hours about some other, probably completely unrelated subject.
Ooh.
we can possibly prompt and say we're going to be talking to the guys who run one of our favourite cons.
Okay, the producer's in my ear. And he's saying that Will will be talking to someone who probably does know how to organise an event. Well, not somebody who probably. He definitely knows how to organise an event.
Yeah.
I think he's into his 12th or 13th year.
Wow. I mean, RS have been to quite a few of them. Oh, dear.
But yeah, we'll have somebody dropping by to tell us the ins and outs, and I don't know what he's going to tell us, but he's going to talk to us about the event that he runs, and I am really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's always a great event. I'm not going to mention it now. Come back next time and you'll find out all the details. But until then, I've been my usual self, and Paul's been sat over there.
Yeah, I've been RS Paul, and I love you too.